Welcome everybody to Planet Zoo. The long-awaited game has been here. It's in beta finally, and we are going to be doing a little mini-series for it, just the beta, and then when it is released again, for the official release, we'll be hitting it hard and actually making our own zoos. So for right now, we're just doing a mini project, and I'll talk about that later on, and this is going to be the first video of that. So we're just going to basically go through and kind of learn the controls and all that stuff of the game, since it is a brand new game and I really don't know too much about the controls and stuff. So we're going to do like the tutorial and all of that, and then I'll tell you guys at the end of the video what is going to be going on for the actual project, and then we'll start the actual building of the project in the next episode, and then we'll have those span out for the rest of the beta and stuff, which this is most likely going to be a pre-recorded series, because I only have till October 8th, which is in a couple of weeks, about 2 I believe, and I really want to get this done so I don't have to stop and then lose all my progress. So I'll probably record them all, and then I'll post them kind of in a chronological order and not all on the same day and all of that stuff. So we'll kind of span it out, and so you guys can get some Planet Zoo about every week or so, maybe probably twice a week actually, since this is super popular and I want to get it out to you guys. But this is the loading screen. So we load in right here and we go into this green screen. We got Planet Zoo at the top, our name, and we got this big huge globe. And if you remember from Planet Coaster, it's not actually as detailed as this. It's more of just a sphere. It's not crazily detailed with all the different colors, and it's not glowing on the outside, which I really love. So it's really beautiful when you load in. And first thing you might notice is that sandbox is locked. That is just with the beta. They won't be locked when the game is actually put out for everybody. It's just not able to use for right now. So right now we have the franchise and the scenario. So the franchise is like launching your own zoo franchise, and you can do that online. So if I click on this, it'll be like, what do you want to call your franchise? And basically, we're not going to go into that right now because we'll probably make that the series of our Planet Zoo series when it actually is launched. But for right now, I just want to do a mini project. But as I said before, we're going to talk about that at near the end of the episode. But we're actually going to go into scenarios, and we're going to go into Goodwin House, which is basically it's the stately homeschooling. So it's basically the tutorial. So this is where you want to go if you don't know, and it looks like I already have a star. I was messing around with it just a little bit to kind of figure some basic things out, and I really do want to say that this is a really awesome game. Like, all of the design work is so cool, and I'm really excited. So we're gonna kind of go start new, and then we're gonna hit this amazing green loading screen with Planet Zoo. And we're going to listen to this amazing music while it loads, and yeah, so we're going to be just waiting here, listening to some music, and then we'll go into the scenario, and we'll see what happens in a couple of seconds. Alright, so it finally loaded in, and we are going to be going in. This nice cinematic shot of the entrance to this zoo that has been created. This is the zoo that is actually made in all of like the trailer videos. This is what they did. And we got Bernie talking, so I'm going to be quiet so you guys can hear it.
It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better. One that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But before we begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals? We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Alright, so that is the beginning intro to all of this beautiful scenario that we have going on here. And I'm going to play through this scenario. It'll be a time lapse for you guys. And then at the end, I'll kind of go over what all the controls are and stuff like that, just really brief. And then we're going to talk about the big project. So you guys want to skip to me talking about that project, I'll put a little timestamp on the screen right now, and you guys can go to that and just check that out. If not, if you want to see me do this really, hopefully quick time lapse of me just doing this tutorial with Nancy and at the Goodwin house, I guess we're gonna be doing that right now. So here we go. Heyo.
Not bad. Not bad at all. I think it's fair to say that you've passed the first part of your training with flying colours. There's still lots more to learn, but we'll have to head to another one of Bernie's zoos for that. If you want to grab your passport, we'll head off, shall we?
Sounds like you've got the whole zoo purring away nicely. Well, purring, grunting, screaming, booming. All the appropriate noises. I guess I was right to hire you, huh?
All right,
Don't tell her I
so
told you,
he's
but
still talking,
Nancy wasn't
but
sure you'd
we
even last the
are
morning.
done with this scenario. We got
So,
the
we're
3 stars.
happy this is
That's not really
working
what I was
out.
going for the
And
goal of this video,
I
and I
feel
kind of
the
skipped me
Foxy
getting the
coffee.
3rd star because it took a little while to get. But this is
strange as
just
it
kind
seems,
of
considering
him
we just
rambling on
met,
right now,
when I look at
and I
you,
really
feel like you're the
don't
child I
want
should
him
never
to be
had.
talking right now
After the one
because
I
I
did
want to tell
have,
you guys about
obviously.
what's going on.
But you see,
We'll actually pause
zookeeping's
this.
not for my daughter. Don't get
Yep, there we go. Pause that. Oh, look, it muted him. Okay. So he's just gonna ramble on for the rest of this, and I think it wants us to basically move on to the next park, is what they were saying. But I think that we'll just use this park since it's already set up, and we don't really have sandbox mode, or we don't actually. So I'm just gonna use this park to build my beginning project for Planet Coaster. So actually, why don't we just save this really quick? Save this zoo. Goodwin House. We'll just name this Alpha Project or Beta Project, and then we'll save that. And I think it's saved. Oh, it's I don't really know if did it save. There we go. Okay. So maybe what I would just like to hear him, just in case, I'm missing something. It's just him rambling though.
Wants to save the entire
So,
planet. I'll just settle for saving a couple of species. Oh, and maybe having a ton
Okay,
of frogs.
so while he's just doing that, I'm just gonna kind of go over just a couple things. The controls are basically the same as Planet Coaster. Same movement controls and stuff. Same building mechanics. The biggest thing is just learning how to care for the animals. That was like the biggest thing of this tutorial. So it does take a while to get all 3 stars for your tutorial, but I think it's worth it because it really does teach you how to play the game. It goes through all of this practically, and then it goes through your heat maps and like how to get animals and all that stuff. I think a problem we might have in this. Oh look, now we can buy it. Okay, so now that we can buy animals in here, I think we are gonna end up using this scenario because we couldn't buy animals from what we had, or from the actual scenario. So the goal for this beta project, I'll start going into this, is basically I want to make like an African safari type ride. I'm not completely onto the zoo yet. I still like the ride parts, so we're gonna add a ride, and I don't really know exactly where. We might do it in this back portion. It's kind of separated all in the wilderness. That might not nice, or on this side, because there's some good amount of space here. You can faintly see the dotted lines coming out. So I think there's more room on the other side, so we probably will do it on this side, and we'll make like a safari ride. And based on what I saw, I know I wanted the zebra and giraffes, and I know when I was taking care of this habitat, they were both together. So maybe if I go to, I think it was social, and I go, or no, it was Zoopedia, and I can look at the like what they're good with. So like elephants, so the elephant zebras we're definitely gonna have, and they can all be in the same habitat. And then like the springbok and this antelope and the ostrich. So we can have a bunch of animals, and then I was thinking maybe having like a little hippo part area and then a lion area in the tour as well, because those are all kind of the African area animals. I don't really know so much for hippo, but it's basically gonna be a different type of ride. We're gonna basically ignore the rest of this park, so whatever happens to it, people, the habitats might die, actually, or the animals might die, but we're trying and focus on this, and I think we're gonna be having to make sure that we have enough money. I think there's a way to have loans, maybe finances, loans. Yes, we can not take loans, it looks like. So we're gonna have to watch that money. Hopefully that's not gonna come into our situation too much. But basically, we're gonna start on this in the next episode. But and that's the plan. We're gonna make an African safari ride for the beta project. So make sure to tune in for next episode because we're gonna be starting that out in with our music in the background. This amazing Planet Zoo music, amazing Planet Zoo game. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Planet Zoo, I guess, or the very first video of Planet Zoo I've done. New game, new series. It's gonna be amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys are gonna come back for the next episode. And until then, see you guys next time. Make sure to have an amazing day.